What is going on, everybody? We are waiting a few more seconds before I kick off the intro. Hopefully you guys are here in the chat. Let me know what's going on. Who is ready for tonight's Jbuck Live with, some sparing a few news stories in there, some movie news and all of that stuff. But we're definitely going to be getting into the notorious, the sought after, the definitive Hot Pockets ranking here on the channel. But without further ado, let's kick into the intro after I click this one more button. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 4 of Movies and Nonsense. Oh my gosh, I am getting my shows mixed up. Jbuck Live, not Movies and Nonsense. I am in the wrong mindset right now. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Obviously, we have the main topic on the sidebar here, the Hot Pockets ranking, the definitive Hot Pockets ranking. I slaved hard and long for this ranking for you guys, so we'll see how that one turns out. But yeah, we're getting into the normal ridiculous movie news with the quickies and the Hot Pockets ranking and movie theaters opening too soon and some kind of new segments and everything here on the channel. Who do we got here? We have Cody and we have Seth. Thank you guys for tuning in for this episode 4. Just starting off, kind of what's been going on? How has everybody's life been going on through this weird time? Let me fix the camera because it's a little screwy right there. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Yeah, because I had to completely take all of this stuff down, throw it into the storage room, and set up, obviously, that Hot Pockets ranking. But for myself, kind of what's been going on, I've just been recording a lot of podcasts. A lot of podcasts with people. Yes, I will be definitely talking about Butt Boy. Butt Boy is on the agenda. It says, in my notes, it says, Butt Boy movie, ... talk about it. You really need to talk about it. Before we get into Butt Boy, just kind of what's been going on, man. I've been recording a lot of podcasts, like I said. The SoCo show, I was on their podcast. Very fun episode with Cody's brother, Kyle. Be sure to check that out, coming out this week. I was on Falling for Film with Ryan O'Toole and Colin Williams. That was a fun episode. That one dropped yesterday. I did my own podcast, Movies and Nonsense, where I had my buddy Rob on, and we talked about the first James Bond movie, Doctor Who. We had never seen that movie, so we both went and watched the movie and kind of sat down and did a deep dive on it. A little bit different for Movies and Nonsense. And then one other one, I was on a podcast called Infinity Bros. One of my buddies from high school is a part of that group, the collective over there. Very professional what they did and very fun podcast. So I would recommend, if you're looking for more podcasts to fill your time, definitely jump over there and follow any of those people, the SoCo show, the Infinity Bros, Falling for Film, or my own podcast, Movies and Nonsense. And then at the end of the show, I'm going to be getting into some other podcasts I'm going to be on this week, but there are a couple more. So I put the call out, and a lot of people obviously answered. But as for content and stuff for my channel, I'll get into that in the coming soon. But what I've been watching, I watched, it was a Netflix show. It was, I wouldn't say trash TV exactly, but it was very much like a Netflix, turn your brain off, enjoy it for what it is, and it's called Too Hot to Handle. And that show is just like, they got them. If you're familiar with like Love Island or any sort of reality show where they get the most beautiful people on this secluded island, pump them full of alcohol, that's exactly what this is. Too Hot to Handle on Netflix. It's the most gorgeous, beautiful people ever. And then the catch or the gimmick or the kind of draw into this show is they're going to win $100,000, but they can't touch each other. They can't do anything. They can't kiss. They can't masturbate. They can't have sex. They can't do any of that. So that is a very interesting dynamic for the show. I very much, if you need something to just kind of cleanse yourself from the weird stuff that's going on today, the life that's going on and everything like that, go on, turn that on, and have a good time with it. What have you guys in the chat, Cody, Seth, anyone else that is watching right now, what have you guys kind of been watching? I know you guys, I talked to you guys like 2 days ago, so not much has really happened in the 2 days. One thing I definitely want to talk about, and obviously, Cody, you brought it up. Seth, you are the one that recommended this movie, and you got your way with it. You have this weird thing where you go out, you find a movie, you recommend it to us, and then I hate to say it, but I really enjoyed it. I'm sure Cody thoroughly enjoyed this film, but this film is called Butt Boy. Just The Last Dance on ESPN. Is that the 10-part Michael Jordan documentary? I was considering watching that or somehow reviewing it, but 10 parts, I mean, that seems like a very intense watch, but obviously I'm sure it covers a lot of what's going on, and I'm sure it's very interesting because I've always heard that there's a dark side. I wouldn't say entirely dark, like kind of the Me Too type stuff, but there's a dark side to Michael Jordan, so I'm curious if they will get into that. But yes, we need to talk about Butt Boy. So Butt Boy is this weird, definitely indie type movie. I believe it showed at Fantastic Fest in 2019, but it is like this guy that, and I don't want to give away any spoilers because this is a very much like just go and you need to know the title and just go watch the movie and then come back. But this is a movie that's very much like this guy discovers somehow he likes anal stimulation, I guess. That's kind of the easy way to say it. But then it gets out of control. It essentially turns into a drug, takes over his life, and he can't go through a daily, normal, everyday life, like a normal day, without putting something up his butt. And I mean, not just like a pencil or like a drumstick, but like he's putting like big objects like a TV remote, the bar of soap, a dog. Like, it is getting ridiculous. And then obviously it becomes almost like this serial killer type-esque story. And there's a cop, a seasoned cop, kind of an alcoholic cop that is chasing him down, getting really close. But it's almost like a cross between like a cat and mouse chase type movie, a cop drama, a cop thriller, and almost like a superhero type movie. And it is bananas weird. I am so like, that is what I was just so excited to watch this movie, and I was so happy. My review is on my channel. I instantly ran and watched that, reviewed the movie, got my review out quick. I posted it on YouTube, obviously, and then over on Instagram, and tagged the production company and the director and stuff like that, and they actually messaged me back and they said thank you for watching our movie. So I'm going to pass that thank you on to Seth. Yes, they are very thrilled that we watched the movie. It starts with a prostate exam and goes downhill very quickly. Yes, and that's the thing, is the first like 10 minutes I'm like, oh, like this is the movie. And then it kicks into like the title sequence, and like the cop is going through his like, you know, trying to figure out this case that's been a seasoned case, and then you find out how he's actually intertwined with everything that's going on. It is a very interesting type movie. I would say that it's very experimental. I know that someone commented and they used, oh God, I don't know what word it is, but yes, this is an experimental type movie. And this is what I like to see in my movies nowadays, because like, believe me, I love MCU movies. I love these big action blockbusters, but I know what I'm getting with those movies. This movie, I had no clue what I was getting into. I remember watching the trailer about a month ago, and this is anything and everything. Like, I absolutely loved it. Yes, Seth, that is awesome. Yeah, he messaged me, and he's like, thank you so much for watching the movie. Appreciate it. And I messaged back, and I said, I am going to let everyone I know about this movie and tell them to go watch this movie. So that is really cool. You think you know how it's going to go down, but you absolutely do not. I paused it with the title sequence. Yes, title sequence was like 13 minutes, and that's what I loved, because I'm like, we are in the movie already. Like, I love how I was just caught up by everything, trying to figure out what was going on. And the cool thing is, they don't treat you like an idiot. They treat you like a smart person, because they don't be like, oh yeah, he's putting things up his butt. Like, it gives you enough context clues about what is going on and the weird things. Like, the first time, the soap and the TV remote, I'm like, okay, this kind of makes sense. But when the dog goes missing, I'm like, oh, this is taking it to a whole different level of weird and wacky, and I'm on board for it. I'm very curious of how this goes. Yes. Cody, did you really like that film as well? Did you like Butt Boy? Because obviously you had watched it last night or whatnot. Anyone else here in the chat though, definitely watch Butt Boy. I will say, I think unfortunately YouTube is not letting people know that I'm live, so it might be a little bit of a skeleton crew, but thank you guys for joining in and hanging out and everything like that. But yeah, if we're done with Butt Boy, we can get into the quickies and whatnot. I mean, I'm sure my chat is probably 20 seconds behind. I liked it, but not for the reasons I thought I would. Why did you like it? Like, I liked the almost like stylistic, like neon type settings, and also like this synth wave type music. Like, honestly, I mentioned in my review, it reminded me of Drive, where it's just music and him driving and very low amount of dialogue, more of kind of looks and action and weird things. Yeah, I was just so excited for it. Was prepped for something more silly and wacky, but actually enjoyed the methodical and experimental. Yes, yeah. That's what I think I got out of it, because what I had heard, obviously, from the name Butt Boy and the way that Seth kind of pitched it, I thought it was going to be more slapsticky, and obviously there are some slapsticky type things where his butt cheeks are rumbling and he's farting. Like, that is so crazy. Andre reacts. What's going on, Andre? We are just talking about Butt Boy, a new VOD movie. Honestly, my favorite movie of this year so far. It was so weird and wacky, and I loved it. Kind of feels like a movie the Safdies made in college. Coolidge, yeah. Yeah, it definitely has that Softies or Safdie brothers, kind of that gritty feel type of movie, I guess. But yeah, we are 15 minutes into this, and we haven't even gotten into anything. Let's get into the quickies quick for some new stuff. All right, we are into the quickies portion of the show. Thank you, guys. Again, we are, unfortunately, there is a lot, not that much movie news. I had to kind of scrub through a lot of things, and it's obviously a lot of kind of delays and, title reviews. For some reason, there was a lot of news this week just being like, hey, someone made this fan poster. There's this fan poster, and I'm like, I don't understand how this is news, but our first story, Jurassic World Dominion. Jurassic World, I kind of liked. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, not so much. I'm curious about this Dominion because they're finally having it where it's almost, I'm assuming, going to be kind of this dystopian type world where the dinosaurs and the humans are having to live in this like I wouldn't say symbiotic relationship, but living together in this weird world. There was a new set photo that came out. I think it's just kind of the director with some behind the scenes kind of look. Nothing really jumps out at me about this picture, but I will say, the fact that we're going to get dinosaurs in snow, I am very excited for, because that is one kind of setting or atmosphere that we haven't really seen dinosaurs in before. I don't know the logistics behind dinosaurs in cold weather. Are they going to run slower because they're cold-blooded? Are they going to completely disregard that scientific bit of the movie? I don't know, but I'm curious on how snow is going to affect these dinosaurs. Again, big old dinosaurs punching each other, people trying to save the world. It's Jurassic Park, so that's kind of that news. Lovebirds, a big movie that was supposed to be showing at South by Southwest, feels like it's a heartbreak to me, because I was supposed to already have seen this movie. And actually, this movie was supposed to be out in theaters by now, I believe. But Netflix is the one that went in, swooped in, paid a hefty price for this film. And it is going to be on Netflix. They released a trailer and the release date, and it's going to be on Netflix on May 22nd. So this is Camille Nanjiani and Issa Rae, kind of a shenanigan-filled date night type movie. Looks very fun. And coming to Netflix, everyone has Netflix. I would very much recommend checking that one out. Fandango is in the news this week, and they bought Vudu from Walmart. I had no clue that Walmart owned Vudu, so I'm kind of curious about that and how this really is going to benefit Fandango in the short run, the long run. I don't know, because I know Fandango now is a thing and Vudu, but I've never rented a movie from Vudu, so I don't know how big of a service it is. I think Seth and Cody, you guys in the chat, you guys are ones that maybe frequent Vudu a little bit more than myself. I don't know if this is a smart business decision or not. It just, Fandango now, I'm assuming, is going to have a bigger platform or wider reach for Vudu customers or people like that. Another streaming type stuff. Let's go back to Netflix. There's another Netflix story that came out yesterday, I believe, and Netflix bought another movie. Did they find it in the $5 bin? Yes, Jurassic Park crossing over with the Snowman. What a perfect pair. Yes, the Snowman was a wonderful, wonderful crap movie of that year. Netflix buys another movie, and I guess it's a Melissa McCarthy movie, and I'm curious on how this movie is going to pan out, because Melissa McCarthy, for myself, she very much is the woman that falls down and makes a fool of herself. Rebel Wilson is very much dabbling in that kind of comedic role as well. But the movie is called Starling, and Netflix paid $20 million for it. I think it might come out at the end of this year. It has Melissa McCarthy, Kevin Kline, Timothy Olyphant, Daveed Diggs, and a handful of other well-known people, and I guess it sounds like it's more of a drama rather than a comedy, so I'm very much on board for maybe seeing some more drama from Melissa McCarthy, because I did not see the typewriter movie. God, what is the name of it? It's not Sorry to Bother You, it's Will You Ever Forgive Me? There we go. I never saw that movie. I heard that she was pretty good in that film. Definitely a change of pace. So we will see what that movie is, but yeah, it definitely sounds like more of a drama. More streaming news. HBO Max came out this morning, I believe. This is breaking news. I use Vudu somewhat frequent. Seth says in the chat, I use Fango and some Fandango credits. Okay. I need to be better about just not mushmouth in the comments. But HBO Max, another streaming service coming into the game, and the release date is going to be May 27th, and it's going to be priced at $14.99 a month, and it's going to come with, some third-party stuff that they're leasing, I'm assuming, or renting right now. I don't know what you paying license to use. Friends, Big Bang Theory, South Park, and some Studio Ghibli movies. But then obviously like Joker, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, The Matrix, all of those kind of big names. And then also stuff from different networks. CNN, TNT, TBS, True TV, and then also some adult, kind of online content, I would say, like Rooster Teeth, Crunchyroll, and Adult Swim. So I know that there's people that really like anime. So Crunchyroll, if you're watching a bunch of anime, it looks like HBO Max has that included for it. So I'm kind of curious, are people excited for Dorito Chip Gamer? Yes, thank you, man. Welcome to the chat in the stream. Are you guys excited for HBO Max, or is it coming to a weird place in time that there's just so many streaming options now that it's like I need to be selective about what I'm picking? Or do you kind of team up with a group of friends and you're buying HBO Max, you're getting Hulu, you're getting Netflix? I don't know. Cody says, I am a current HBO Now subscriber. Very stoked to get the extra stuff coming. Yeah, if you are already a subscriber, I guess, or you are, I guess a subscriber, to HBO Now or HBO Go or whatever the hell it is. This is a great thing for you. This is obviously a big plus. There's going to be a lot more content on the platform. HBO Max is looking good. Glad I already have HBO because I will be able to cross over for free. That's what Movie File says. Yeah, I might have to dabble in that because there's a lot on this platform. This actually brings up a question. Do you think, obviously Netflix is the top of the game right now, do you think that any of these ones that are really coming into the fold, HBO Max, Disney Plus, do you think any of these have the potential to knock Netflix down, or do you think Netflix has like the top, they are the king of the mountain for the next 10 years? I don't know. I'm very curious. I think that they've been in the game for so long and they have such a name recognition that I think that they're going to stay on the top for a while. But HBO Max could be one that very much comes across and maybe disrupts the flow of everything. Let's see here. More movie news. Guess what? It's movie shuffle or whatnot. So WB. I have Netflix, YouTube. Let's see here in the chat. Dorito Chip Gamer has Netflix, YouTube TV, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and Apple TV Plus. Damn, that is a lot of streaming services. But I mean, those are kind of the main ones that people are going to have, especially if you want to keep watching regular, I like how we call that regular cable TV. That's kind of a way to go. I know that for a while I had PlayStation, or we had PlayStation View, which was pretty good for a while, but then they lost some of the contracts with some of the companies because I think that all of the TBS and stuff like that moved away from PlayStation View for HBO Max. For about a year or two, that was really good for us. Getting back to it, WB Superheroes, they just shifted all of the release dates. So Batman, instead of a summer blockbuster, this is coming out in October 1st of 2021. I think that that's a solid fit because there's rumor that it's going to be happening, like the movie takes place around Halloween. So that movie coming out in October. I think that's a good spot for it. I mean, it would have been nice for a summer blockbuster, but if they're going for the more feel, kind of like toned down version of Batman or grittier new take on him, throw it in October. I like it. Shazam 2 moved from April 1st to November 2022, and The Flash actually moved up a month from July 1st, 2022 to June 3rd, 2022. I don't know. This is almost non-news because it's like, okay, obviously with all of the stuff that's happening, people are going to move their movies. That's what's happening. Scoob, the new animated Scooby-Doo movie, that actually came out today with news that is going to hit VOD. It is skipping the theaters. It is not waiting around. It is going straight to VOD on May 15th. Mark your calendars if you are a big Scooby-Doo fan because you can rent that movie for $19.99. I will say that's a bit much for myself. I don't know if you guys in the chat are dabbling in that $20 rental price, or is that too high for yourself? I honestly think a rental should be $5, but I know that they are trying to recoup some of that money. YouTube TV is so much money. Yeah, I've looked into it, or I've accidentally almost signed up for it by clicking the wrong button. So yes, Netflix is or not Netflix, YouTube TV is very, very expensive, or I wouldn't say expensive, but just not cost efficient when it depends what you're looking for. Moved up, still had a job without actually saying it. Yeah, Dorito Chip Gamer, Flash, they moved up. I'm kind of curious about that. Yeah, Scoob. I'm curious about Scoob because I know that they're using it to set up a whole new a new universe or a connected universe with all of their Hannibal Barbera. Oh my gosh, I can't talk tonight. I'm losing it. All of those cartoons into one connected universe. Let's see here. Netflix, they had another trailer today. I watched it and it says, or the trailer name is The Wrong Missy, and it's a David Spade movie. Nick Swartzen's in it, Rob Schneider. It's kind of the same crew of people that have done a few other Netflix films, but it kind of looks like a rom-com gone wrong. If that makes sense, kind of mistaken identity, and then they don't see eye to eye, and then by the end, they learn who each other are, and then obviously they're going to end up together. And I think for Netflix, Hanna-Barbera. There we go, Hanna-Barbera. Thank you, Cody. Mushmouth. But yes, this looks like, kind of your run-of-the-mill rom-com movie with some comedy thrown in. It does get a little slapsticky in the trailer right before I watched it, and I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those Netflix movies that about half of it I enjoy, and then half of it's geared towards a very younger audience. So I'm kind of curious about that. Yes, I think someone brought it up in the chat. Venom 2 has such a cheesy name. Yes, I have that written down here. Venom 2. The title came out, and also they moved the release date. It was slated for October of this year. Obviously, every movie's moving out of this year, so they did too. And it is called Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. Now, I don't know what else the hell you would call this movie. I mean, Venom 2 Carnage, Let There Be Carnage. I don't even know. I'm not too familiar with comic books. Maybe there is a comic book called Let There Be Carnage. Obviously, Carnage is going to be in this movie. Hopefully, Woody Harrelson does not have that goofy carrot top wig. But I don't know. Is that title a really big turnoff for anyone else in the chat? And also, what other just awful titles have there been? Subtitles, any sort of titles of movies? Let me know in the chat. I'm very curious about that. I'm going to see the movie. It's not going to turn me off whether or not I see the movie. I just think that it's kind of a lackluster title, to be honest. Let's see here. We already got that. I don't know. I don't got much more in movie news, I guess. One last thing. I tried to find the leaked photo, but it just didn't show up. I tried to find it, but it was Cheetah in Wonder Woman. I guess we got the first look of what Kristen Wiig is going to look like as Cheetah, but I couldn't find that. I guess they pulled it back down. But some information came out. I guess her character is motivated by low self-esteem, which I didn't realize that my ex-girlfriend got the part of Cheetah. Very excited to see her on the big screen. Very excited that she landed the role, but I don't know. Again, some Wonder Woman news. Who knows? That movie might get pushed again because once we get into our first story, then we can talk about it. But yeah, I think that movie might get moved. But movie theaters. Let's talk about movie theaters before we go on to our first commercial break. Yes, Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. I thought was a bad title. They obviously changed the title for marketing, even though everyone said that it was not a good title. I don't know. All these fan people, I don't know. What are you hearing about Chadwick Boseman? Read a rumor today that he could be leaving the MCU. Really? I did not know that, Cody. Thank you for bringing that up. I should have done a little bit more research. I'd be curious, obviously they have Black Panther 2, and he's also going to be a part of the Avengers kind of, in the future, but I don't know. I wonder if they could somehow write him out or have his sister, the younger sister in the film, God, I'm so bad with names tonight, have her take over the Black Panther mantle, which I think they could do. They've done it in the comics. But yes, I want to talk about this. Movie theaters opening soon? Question mark. Yeah, Venom 2. Yeah, Venom 2 is just a month ahead of Spider-Man 3. So obviously there's going to be connections. Like, I'm sorry, but that's what I'm saying. There's going to be connections in that film. There's going to be hints. There's going to be hints of Venom. There's going to be hints of Spider-Man. There's going to be something in that film. But what I want to say is movie theaters opening too soon. So news came out today that Georgia Governor Brian Kemp plans to open up restaurants and theaters April 27th in Georgia. And actually, quite a few places are saying that they're going to start opening April 24th, so this Friday. Movie Mania Nick, what's going on, man? I'm curious about this because they're saying that they're going to try to open up all of these places, but you still need to reinforce this mask rule. Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? Is this just an awful, awful idea for anyone and everyone involved? Because I know that if they do open movie theaters, then one, they're going to have to play older movies, which I'm okay with. I know you guys in the chat probably are okay with watching older movies in the movie theater. That's not a problem. But two is if they open them, all of these, like for example, AMC, they have furloughed all of their employees. Who is going to work? No one's going to be able to open these theaters because they don't have anyone to work. They don't have the bills to pay for these. And are they going to bring in enough money to justify opening these movie theaters? I hate to say it, but I really do think that this is an awful idea. I think not only just the movie theaters, but bars, restaurants, everywhere and anywhere. I'm far from a medical professional. I am far from an economic. Oh my gosh. I'm going to just stop talking. I just think it's a bad idea for all around. I would love to see movies, but I think that it's a horrible idea. Even if they're trying to do the whole social distancing type thing, I still think that that's not a good idea at all. But say, I know all of you guys in here, all of you guys in the chat are saying it's a horrible idea. It'd be like smoking where you don't have a mask. Yes. It 100%. It's all a bad idea. You guys all agree it's a bad idea. But if they do open and you're safe, what are like the top 3 movies you would want to see them play in the movie theaters? And these are not new movies. These are older movies that definitely, the MCU. Maybe they replay those like Endgame on the big screen again, or Harry Potter or something like that. What are 3 movies you would love to see on the big screen if they just open it up, for a month or two? I'd be curious about that. I would love to see some older movies because I know that I had recently gone to Back to the Future, Big Trouble in Little Chinatown, Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park even. Like, I would love to see some of those older classics on the big screen. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of curious about that. Colin Williams in the chat. What's going on, Colin? 6-pack of dad bod. Wow, I guess they would have to bring Wonder Woman back 2 months, yeah. Butt Boy, yes. I would 100% love to see Butt Boy on the... Actually, I would say 100% I would love to see Butt Boy on the big screen. I think that would be hilarious, and also it would very much like enhance everything about that movie. Like, I really enjoyed the soundtrack for sure. Cody here says Star Wars, Alien, The Matrix. The Matrix is probably one of my 3, definitely, because I rewatched that movie 2 months ago, and I'm like, my God, if I would have seen this movie in 1999, I would have shit my pants, because this movie, there's so much revolution. Again, it's been done time and time again in the last 20, 21 years, but I think that would just be wild to see that on the big screen. Let's see here. Some other people are saying Inception, 2001, A Space Odyssey, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, I've definitely seen... I actually saw Inception on the big screen when it came out in 2010. Yep. But But yeah, I don't know. I again, it's I think 99% of people agree that this is just an awful idea to even try to open up movie theaters. But there's 1% of people that are being very loud about opening them and getting them started again. So I really don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to leave it at that I think that, yeah, movie theaters should not open. I really want them to. I'm unfortunately having to do a lot of streaming content, but that's okay. You know, I'd rather stay safe and have it not open up than all of this shit hits the fan and then it closes again. But let's take our first commercial break and we will get back into the Hot Pocket ranking. Now, a word from our sponsors. Oh no, I clicked the wrong button. Can you guess the movie quote?
Spanish Armada. 1588.
That is correct.
Let's hear it one more time.
Spanish Armada. 1588.
That is correct.
It's 1995's Billy Madison. You can win a totally toy-rific Toys R Us shopping spree, where the Power Rangers do the shopping with you. Keep watching Jbuck Live to find out how you can win. This is my altar for my brother. Obviously, he loved video games and Pops and all sorts of nerd stuff. This was his first Pop. If I can convey to anyone out there, this is a killer. He didn't want to ask people for help or support or lube. I just never thought we'd lose Andrew. Like, I never thought that. All right, we are back from commercial break. Yes, some of the few comments came in last. Yes, what were you watching, Ryan, from over there? 1995's best movie, 100%. Billy Madison is a riot. I love that movie. Shampoo is better. I was gonna take the quote from the trivia at the end where he's like, "God have mercy on your soul," but that movie quote was just way too long. I don't know. Yes, Cody, that is a Dr. Pepper Little Sweet Funko. It was an exclusive that T-Buck, he got one, and then he helped me get one. So, yeah, we definitely got those exclusive Funko Pops. Unfortunately, he died of chronic masturbation. It just, it was a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. But, yeah, we are getting into the main topic here. I joked about it, and when I joke about something and then someone says you should do that, I guess I see the opportunity and just go with it. So yes, we have the Hot Pockets ranking, the definitive Hot Pockets ranking. I filmed the whole thing. I'm going to be listening in and talking in the chat while this is going live. So without further ado, if no one has anything else, we will get right into the Hot Pocket ranking and then finish out with some fun new stuff. I got a couple new segments and whatnot, and then some questions and what's coming soon. So without further ado, let's get into the Hot Pockets ranking.
Delicious.
All right, everyone, we are down in the studio. All of the Hot Pockets are cooked. It's very hot with the lights and all of the Hot Pocket goodness just radiating off of it. But we are here. Everything is cooked. We are here to break down and rank these 8 Hot Pockets in a definitive ranking. If we jump over to the Hot Pocket cam, yes, we got a Hot Pocket cam. Let's break down and let's put a name on all of these different Hot Pockets. We have pepperoni and sausage, ham and cheddar, 5 cheese pizza, the meatball and mozzarella, chicken and broccoli, chicken pot pie, the Bbq beef, which I don't know too much about, I'm curious, and then lastly, the beef and cheddar Hot Pocket. We are going to be going through all of these, taking 1 to 2 different bites with water in between to get that taste out of our mouth, because we are Hot Pocket connoisseurs here. All of these look very delicious, and fun fact, when I went and bought these 8 different Hot Pockets, the people at the store definitely thought I was high, because how the sausage is made, this is being filmed on 420. So without further ado, let's get into number 1 with Pepperoni Pizza. Alright, so this Pepperoni Pizza one, this one was one of the few that didn't explode, so I'm very curious if this is gonna burn the hell out of my mouth, or if it just got way too crispy. Alright, so we're gonna take a bite, and it might have to be 2 bites, because we get the crust side here on the end, but I want some of the actual, like, filling. Okay. You got the mozzarella. You have the marinara. I think a little heavy on the marinara, to be honest. Oh, God. Okay. We were 1 Hot Pocket in, and I already burned my tongue. Wow. Jim Gaffigan is correct. Hot as lava, cold as ice. Even cooking these in the oven. I'm going to take 1 more bite, because this one actually has some pepperoni in it. Hopefully, oh my gosh. Wow, this is not starting off great. I definitely burned the roof of my mouth. More marinara, more mozzarella. The pepperoni, I will say the pepperoni flavor, the pepperoni segments of this, very much lacking from the overall portrait of mouth flavors. All right, next up is the ham and cheddar one, and I'm going to cut this open first and let it cool a little bit before I get my water. I'm gonna say this, very flaky crust. And I know that I had mentioned in an earlier part of this, we weren't depending on the crust, because there's the garlic buttery, there's the crispy croissant, there's a bunch of different kind of crusts. So I don't know if I can solely base this on the crust, but man, oh man, is this flaky, and I am going to have to vacuum after this. It looks good, it looks tasty. It reminds me of ham and cheddar sandwiches from middle school. Holy hell, this is smoking hot. All right, ham and cheddar, let's go. I will say, this one, not the outside crust, but the inside crust is moist, is delicious. That ham and cheese mixture is phenomenal. Honestly, this one is bringing me back to middle school when we had hot ham and cheese sandwiches all the time. I think this one would be perfect with some ketchup on the side. This one is phenomenal flavor so far. Didn't burn my mouth, or maybe my mouth is burnt off of all of the taste buds from earlier. Whoo, that definitely looks hot. It is steaming. Second bite, even better than the first bite. My face is probably all red because I am burning up like the Jonas Brothers right now. That was hot ham and cheese, or ham and cheddar, rather. That was number 2. I'm gonna take 1 more bite. Next up is now this 5 cheese pizza. And honestly, from what it looks like on the tray, if we go back to the first shot, about half of it exploded out of the side of it. I'm more of a fan of pizza with toppings, some sort of meat, some sort of vegetables potentially. So getting 5 cheeses in here, and I don't even know what kind of cheeses they threw in here. Obviously mozzarella and cheddar, but I'm curious what the 5 cheeses are, and how come they have a 4 cheese and a 5 cheese? Is there like a crowd of lactose intolerant people that are going for the 4 cheese because they want to have those bowel movements for the sake of the 4 cheese? I don't know. You cannot taste any difference between the cheeses. Obviously, from the coloring of the cheese, you can tell that there's multi-layers of cheese in here. Definitely a cheese explosion going on in this one. Now, I think this one would taste the exact same as the first pepperoni pizza one, except that one has the garlic buttery crust, garlic crust. And I know I wasn't debating or ranking it on the crust, but yeah, these two, even though they're the same, they have drastic differences. All right, next up, we have the mozzarella and meatball, I believe. Let me check my notes while I'm getting a swig of water. Yes, the meatball and mozzarella. And I think that this one might have a little bit more of an overwhelming mozzarella or not mozzarella, marinara flavor. I think it's meatball marinara, actually. All right, so we cut that open, mozzarella, meatball combo. I don't know where my knife and fork are. There actually is meatballs. I know that the pepperoni one was lacking a lot of meat. I would say the pepperoni flavor. This one, I got a meatball or two in each one of these bites. So let's take our first bite of this mozzarella, meatball, and marinara. Generous meatball, I would say. It could be even generouser. Is that a word? More generous meatball. But the marinara, compared to the 5 cheese pizza and the pepperoni one, this marinara flavor is more, I wouldn't say overwhelming, but there's definitely more a significance of this flavor in this Hot Pocket. Mozzarella is holding it together, kind of the glue, the natural glue of the food world. The meatball is probably the best part, and this second bite actually has 2 meatballs. I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully that chewing is not ASMR to people, and if it is, I'll start a whole separate channel of chewing ASMR. Second bite, phenomenal compared to the second one, or first one, because I think this one had a couple more pieces of meatball in it, a little bit more flavor. The crust is delicious. This one is phenomenal. This one's a tasty one if you're looking out for, you know, a Hot Pocket to go get. You're a Hot Pocket connoisseur out there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it definitely burned part of my gums off. These next two are ones that I was a little cautious about because these are leaning almost into that lean pockets territory. We have the chicken and broccoli and cheddar, I believe. That's what we're doing right now. And then the chicken pot pie. So I'm curious if these chicken flavors, if the Hot Pockets people over there know what they're doing with chicken, I am going to be on board for this. But let's take our first bite of the chicken and broccoli. I will say, when you get a bite of the chicken, that is what you want in this one. But when you're getting kind of the broccoli and cheddar, those two alone, not great. But they definitely complement the chicken. And that piece I got in the first one, that was a hefty piece of chicken. I don't know if I have a piece of chicken in this second one. It looks like kind of like almost a chicken shred rather than an actual piece of chicken. I'm getting all 3 flavors again, but it's very much dulled down. It's not popping. There's nothing in that bite that's really like, whoa, this is chicken and broccoli and cheddar. This feels like the safe bet. And I think that honestly, the lean pockets, it's probably the exact same. They maybe crafted a little bit different, but it's the exact same Hot Pocket, lean pocket, whatever kind of pocket. Next up, like I said, we're getting almost into that like lean pockets territory. We have the chicken pot pie. Honestly, when I picked this one up, I straight up was like, this one right here, straight diarrhea. You should not be doing this with a Hot Pocket. But yes, they took, from what it looks like, every ingredient in a chicken pot pie, the gravy, the vegetables, the carrots, the chicken, and they just shoved it into a Hot Pocket. So let's check this one out. Definitely a Hot Pocket, definitely a pot pie. I would say there's something missing, and you know what it is? It is pepper. They need to throw some pepper in here. I was going to say salt at first, but obviously this is preserved, this is frozen. There's definitely salt in this one, but a nice kick to this one that would enhance it, pepper. Throw some pepper in here. I hate to do it, but maybe even some hot sauce too. I'm a big hot sauce guy, but pepper, no doubt. The gravy notes are probably the best bet. Chicken, the vegetables, not so much. Missing pepper, but the gravy in this one, so obviously a pot pie, just shove the gravy in there. That's probably the best bet or the best attribute of this one. Guess what? A little peek behind the curtain. We ran out of battery there, so had to go charge a battery quick. But next up, we are on the 7th of the 8 different, oh my gosh, I can't even cut this one. This one's tough. But we have the Bbq Beef one. Growing up, this was one of my go-tos. I remember as a kid always going and getting this one. The Bbq Beef, which I don't know too much about. I'm curious, but let's get into, oh my gosh, indigestion. I don't even want to know what's going to happen to me later today or tomorrow after eating all of these. I'm sure that there's some Bbq Beef purists out there. They really love this one. This one has a lot going for it. The barbecue sauce, the crust, the beef, but I don't think it does anything fantastic. The barbecue, I mean, there's thousands of barbecues out there, but for some reason, this is bringing me back to almost like middle school barbecue beef sandwich in the cafeteria. They never made it anywhere else. That's the only place that they have it. But the thing is, the beef in this one, looking at the packaging, sliced, you think it's gonna be phenomenal. This is very slimy. First bite, I'll say that's the first bite, but this is very slimy meat. And I don't think you want that in a Hot Pocket. A Hot Pocket is like a high-class delicacy, and you don't want slimy meat in that. That second bite, I didn't get as much meat as the first one, so I'm looking at the inside of this one, and it does have quite a bit of meat. I don't know. This one, the barbecue, I thought the barbecue would pop a little bit more, but it's not doing much for me. And last up, we have our final one, beef and cheddar, I believe. I think this one might be a special one or a limited edition one, but let's get our first bite, beef and cheddar. I'm wondering if it has the same beef from that barbecue one, but with a cheddar sauce instead. Okay. It doesn't have the same cheddar flavoring from any of the other ones that we had previously with cheddar in the name. Unfortunately, the beef is very underwhelming. It's not as slimy as the previous barbecue one, the barbecue beef one, but I don't think that there's anything jumping out at me on this one. Again, it has a different kind of crust. We're not basing it on crust. We're basing it on the total ensemble. And I'm definitely going to need another bite. Nothing else jumped at me. Whatever I said on the first bite, the exact same thing happened on the second one. Nothing really jumps out at me. Okay, so that is it. We have tried all 8 different Hot Pockets that I got my hands on. I know some people out there are really in the comments right now saying that there's other Hot Pockets out there. Unfortunately, the store did not have those. We left Lean Pockets out, and we left the breakfast ones. We didn't include them. I'm sorry. Sorry for your breakfast fans out there. So I'm going to take a quick minute, maybe 10 minutes, maybe a couple bathroom breaks, and we'll get back with the ranking. We are back with the final ranking, the final evaluation of these 8 different Hot Pockets, and obviously we'll throw it over to the screen, showing all of them one more time, and I will be throwing on the numbers of where I rank these Hot Pockets. So starting at number 8, I think number 8 is, it's got to be the slimy beef, the barbecue beef sandwich one. That is number 8. Unfortunately, it just didn't do anything. The barbecue didn't really pop. It had a familiar flavor, but very slimy meat, and it just didn't feel like there was a pop in each and every bite. Number 7 is going to be the other beef one on the list, the beef and cheddar. Again, this one takes kind of the same beef from the barbecue beef, throws in cheddar. The cheddar doesn't blend with the beef that well. The beef ones really let me down because the pictures of these ones look phenomenal, and I will say, some people are saying that there's a Philly cheesesteak one out there. I should have gotten that one. I didn't see it at the store, but I very much want to try that one. Number 6 is going to be the 5-cheese pizza. It has 5 cheeses. It has the pizza, but I really want some sort of protein or substance in this one. I mean, I'm curious what the 4-cheese pizza does, or if it's just the exact same and they accidentally took it off the assembly line 1 cheese early. Number 5 is going to be a surprising one, the chicken pot pie. I really liked the gravy flavor. Again, it would have been phenomenal if they threw some pepper in there. It probably would have moved up a couple slots. But yes, the chicken pot pie definitely will hit the crowds of some chicken pot pie enthusiasts, or maybe all of those old people with chicken pot pies in their freezer for the last 25 years. Number 4, we're getting into the top 4. We have pepperoni and sausage pizza. Wait, oh yeah, pepperoni and sausage pizza. I misspoke. I guess that first one, I didn't see any sausage in that one, but I got a little hint of pepperoni, so I almost should have maybe knocked this one down a little further because it's just pepperoni and sausage and cheese and pizza. It's supposed to have all 3 of those different flavors, but yes, it had the flavors of pizza, but there was definitely something missing from it. Number 3, surprising one. I myself was surprised. You fans out there might be surprised. Chicken and broccoli. Chicken and broccoli. There was something about this one where the chicken was so good. It was. I'm not gonna say this word because it seems outlandish, but I think it was tender. It was juicy and tender chicken in this chicken and broccoli one with cheddar. The chicken was probably the best part of it, and then obviously the chicken or the cheddar and broccoli adding to that flavor. The top 2, meatball, mozzarella, and marinara. Again, I thought the marinara was a bit overwhelming. Different flavor from the other 2 kind of pizza-based ones that we talked about and tasted. Mozzarella the same. The meatball was the best part of this one. That's why it's hitting at the top, because the first bite, big old meatball. The second one, 2 more meatballs in that one. I'm a guy. I love making my meatballs. Yum. And hitting at the number 1 spot, this is one that I did not see coming. This might be an upset for some people, but ham and cheddar is number one in my book. This one was perfect. It was almost nostalgic, bringing me back to those school days of unwrapping a tinfoil oven-baked hot ham and cheese sandwich. Like, this one is not only the nostalgic side of it, but it was a very good flavor, a very tasty. Again, maybe throw a little pepper in there. Not as much as the chicken pot pie one. Ham and cheddar, you are the winner of the Jbuck Live Best Hot Pocket, the definitive ranking of Hot Pockets, might I add. So ham and cheddar is my top ranking, is my number one, is the winner. What did you guys think of this ranking? Are there some pivotal Hot Pocket flavors that I'm missing, maybe some limited flavors, or was I a little harsh on maybe the beef-based ones in this video? Let me know what your guys' favorite controversial take on the Hot Pockets in the comments down below. I'm really curious what you guys have to say, which ones I'm missing, and which ones did I completely botch in this ranking. But that is the Hot Pockets ranking, the 420 special, showing on 421. I don't know, scheduling conflicts and everything like that. But thank you guys for watching, and now roll the things because we're getting back to Jbuck Live. So I've been having a hard time sleeping, obviously. The Hot Pockets are kind of flying through me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a bad idea. But something happened, and I honestly have no idea to explain this one. It might be easiest just to show you guys. Right. There we go, there we go. And we are back. I forgot to turn my mic on. Yeah, that's the Hot Pockets ranking. Obviously, the chat is a little bit behind, so I'm going to wait for you guys to finish that up and get my notes of what's going on. Oh, shit. I'm just laughing because the video is still playing on my screen. Oh God! So yes, that is the. That's exactly where the slimy. Yes, that's exactly where the slimy meat belongs. Is in the toilet. Oh my God! Wow. Okay. Thank you everyone who stuck around, talked in the chat. That was very fun. I think I'm going to do more of these rankings, not every single week, but every now and then I'm going to do a ranking like this because it was something different, and it also was very fun to jump in the chat and talk with you guys while the video is playing. A lot of funny, goofy, weird things in that. But if you did like that ranking and want to see me do other kind of weird, wacky, weird, outlandish rankings, let me know in the chat and oh my gosh, and in the comments and everything like that. Let's see here. So we have AMA. You can ask me any questions right now, and I'll kind of say what's coming soon. But one thing before we get into that, there's going to be small reoccurring bits on this channel from time to time. And it's not going to be every single episode, but it's going to be, you know, just these other ones or whatever. Seth, serious question. Did the Hot Pocket taste better after being soaked? I will say, a peek behind the curtain, I did not eat that Hot Pocket. That one went straight into the toilet. Straight into the toilet, straight into the trash. But one of the kind of fun, goofy, recurring bits is going to be this this segment called 5-second movies, and it's going to be time and time even more. Did you flush that or dig it out? I hate myself for this, but I dug it out. And don't worry, there was utensils. I washed my hands, all that stuff. So all of you concerned about the Hot Pocket, don't worry. And if you want to rewatch that Hot Pocket segment without scrubbing through the whole show, the cutout of that with better quality will be posted tomorrow, so don't worry about that. But one of the segments, getting back to that, one of the segments I want to do on the show is called 5-second movies, and I've seen a couple of these done on YouTube, and this one today, you've probably seen it, it's a little familiar, I changed it up a bit, but every now and then I want to cut a movie down into 5 seconds, and kind of just show it. So today, we are going to get into the first episode, or first showing of 5-second movies.
So this is the ship they say is unsinkable.
But this ship can't sink.
So that was our first 5-second movie of Titanic. Who would have thought? Spoilers, tension. Oh my gosh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful movie. If there's other 5-second movies you would like to see, let me know in the comments or send them over to any of my social medias. Believe me, I would love to do a lot of these because these are weird, these are goofy. This is exactly what this show is and what my channel is right now, or is going to be. So yeah, definitely 5-second movies. That's going to be a new segment here on Jbuck Live. As for that, I don't think I have much else. Just kind of, I will say, like I keep saying, I will say, one more thing. There's going to be some different, kind of more things to get you guys involved. And one of the things I thought up, and I don't know when I'm going to kick it off, and it might be a monthly thing. So at the beginning of every month, I will say a movie. Basically, it's movie book club. So at the beginning of every month, I'm going to, with the help of you guys, whoever wants to see whatever movie, we're going to collectively pick a movie, and we're all going to watch it within that month. And then at the end of the month, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about it in kind of a 10, 15, 20-minute segment at the end of the show or during the show. Again, there is no graphics, there is no bumper, this isn't set in stone. This is just an idea I've been throwing around, but I'd love to kind of hear some input if you guys wanted to do that or partake in the movie book club. Essentially, we pick a movie, and you have a month to watch it, and then we sit down and we talk about that movie. Again, that's probably coming up in the coming weeks. I will let you know if and when that does come up, but I will definitely let you know. Yes, perfect. Titanic in 5 seconds, wonderful. You have to watch Enemy and make an ending explained poorly. Dorito Chip Gamer, that is on my list to do. I am, actually, that gets me right into the things that are coming this week. Yeah, essentially the book club is kind of you missed the boat. For people who are familiar with the SoCo show, Cody and Seth in the chat, they have a podcast where they do a segment kind of like that, so movie book club would be similar to that. But things coming up this week, there's a Netflix movie with, I guess the Russo brothers are producers, and Chris Hemsworth is the lead. It is Extraction. There will be a review for that. There's also another show, I might get to it, I don't know. It's called Love 101 Review. I'm looking at my calendar here. I don't know if I'll get to that. But then I have 2 podcasts on Thursday, one with Ren Geekness and Zach Pope, the Geeks of the Round Table. I don't know when that will be posted, but I will be on their podcast. And then the SoCo show, I was on their podcast this week, and it will be posted on Thursday. If you follow me on social media, you will see me tweet that out or retweet it. Definitely go check out their podcast. I've been on the last 4 with them. They are good friends of the channel, good friends in real life, and they put out some good stuff. So definitely give them a try. The next ending explained, though, Enemy is on my list, Dorito Chip Gamer, don't worry, but The Ring, 2002's The Ring, I need to work on that. Tomorrow I'm going to have a writing day, so tomorrow I will write up that, and hopefully it will be posted by Saturday or Sunday. Cody, I will not be doing a movie book club for Sound of the South or Song of the South. No, I will not be doing that. But no, that's kind of what's coming up this next week. Next Wednesday, I believe, I will be on Fandango's channel. It is a live kind of movie debate type show. I will obviously send out more information when that gets closer. But yeah, that was the show. We're a few minutes over. That was the show. If you guys don't have any more questions, obviously the definitive Hot Pockets ranking will be cut out and posted as an individual video tomorrow. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for everyone talking and having fun in the chat. This was a fun evening, so thank you so much for I guess taking a time out of your day to hang out and kind of get your mind off of everything else. But without further ado, that is it. Those are the things that are coming up. Otherwise, follow all of my social media at Jared Buckendahl down there in the corner. You can find me at all of those places here on Jbuck Studios. Like this channel, subscribe to this channel, and if you are feeling generous, I have a Patreon. Just search Jbuck Studios, and you, at the $2 tier, you get an exclusive episode of my podcast every month where we get a little bit more on the nonsense side of things. Very fun over there. Very thankful for everyone that is a Patreon member. But that is it. Without further ado, we're going to call it a show. Let me get to the outro. And again, thank you everyone for watching, hanging out, tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.